Ladies, have you ever walked into a room and noticed people subtly leaning away? Or maybe your grandchildren hug you a little less enthusiastically than they used to? I hate to be the bearer of uncomfortable news, but what doctors call age-associated odor might be the culprit, and it's not your fault. Recent medical research confirms that our bodies naturally change with age, creating distinctive scents that we ourselves often can't detect. Today, I'm sharing what geriatric specialists wish you knew: the 6 commonly overlooked areas that might be betraying your dignity. And I promise, area number 6 had me absolutely floored when a dermatologist explained it to me. If you're tired of wondering, is it me? Hit that subscribe button and drop "Dignity Matters" in the comments. You're too dignified to be musty, and it's time we tackled this sensitive topic head-on. Now, before we dive into these specific trouble spots, let's understand what's actually happening with our bodies as we age. Let me tell you something most doctors are too polite to mention during your checkups. There's actual science behind what folks call old person smell. It's not just in people's imagination, and it certainly isn't about poor hygiene. My wife nearly kicked me out of bed when I brought home the research papers. Those clever Japanese scientists identified something called 2-nonenal back in 2001, a compound that only shows up on our skin after 40 and keeps increasing as we celebrate more birthdays. As we rack up those wisdom years, our skin's protective system weakens. Oxygen starts breaking down our skin oils differently than it did during our disco days. That's why your grandson's Axe body spray does diddly squat for us seasoned folks. I remember asking my doctor about this at my physical. Poor woman turned redder than a tomato before explaining, "Bob, this isn't about how often you shower. It's chemistry happening on your skin. The kicker? We can't smell it on ourselves. Our noses go blind to our own scents. Scientific term is olfactory adaptation. That's why your wife might hint about it while you're oblivious. Don't we all deserve to play with our grandkids without them wrinkling their honest little noses? I think so. And solving this doesn't require remortgaging the house for fancy products. It's about knowing where to focus your attention. Area 1. Behind your ears and neck, the hidden zones. I discovered this first trouble spot in the most humbling way possible. My 6-year-old grandson Timmy was sitting on my lap during story time when he suddenly turned around, got right up to my face, and announced to the entire family, "Grandpa smells like cheese!" I wanted to crawl under the couch and disappear. Later that night, I did some contortionist moves in front of the bathroom mirror that would have made my old yoga instructor proud. Lo and behold, despite my daily shower, the skin behind my ears and those folds where my neck meets my skull had this sticky, waxy feeling. How had I missed this my entire adult life? My fishing buddy Walter, he's a dermatologist when he's not out catching me on the lake, explained it like this. "Bob, the skin behind your ears has more oil glands per square inch than almost anywhere except your nose. Most men have been washing their faces since their teenage acne days but completely ignore behind their ears." The fix is embarrassingly simple. In the shower, use your fingertips to deliberately scrub behind your ears and that back neck area with small circles. Just water won't cut it. You need some soap to dissolve those oils. If you're watching your pennies like me, retirement ain't cheap. Regular unscented soap does the job perfectly. My barber suggested witch hazel on a cotton ball between showers. Works like a charm after yard work. Just watch out. If you notice flaking, excessive redness, or a yeasty smell, that could be seborrheic dermatitis. A lot of us older gents get it. Might need to see the doc for that one. Area 2. Under the breasts, the moisture trap. Now, ladies, I'm approaching this next topic with all the respect in the world. My wife of 52 years would whack me with a wooden spoon if I didn't. This information comes straight from her and her Wednesday lunch bunch, all elegant ladies in their 70s who started discussing this very issue after I mentioned this video project. My wife's friend Eleanor, not her real name, I value my continued existence, confessed something during their lunch. I noticed this odd smell coming from my chest area, even right after showering. I was too mortified to mention it to anyone. What she was experiencing has a fancy medical name, intertrigo, and according to the ladies' consensus, it affects many women over 60, regardless of cup size. Here's what's happening. As gravity does what gravity does over the decades, there's more skin-to-skin contact underneath the breasts. This creates what my wife's dermatologist calls a perfect storm environment: warm, dark, limited airflow. Add the fact that our skin gets thinner and more delicate with age, and you've got ideal conditions for bacteria to throw a little party. The solution starts with thorough cleaning. In the shower, the ladies tell me you should gently lift each breast and clean underneath with a soft cloth and mild soap. The critical step is complete drying afterward. Blotting isn't enough. My wife swears by her hairdryer on the cool setting, used briefly to ensure the area is completely moisture-free. For day-long freshness, cornstarch or specialized powders designed for skin folds work wonders. If you prefer natural options, a clean cotton handkerchief tucked underneath during summer months can be surprisingly effective by absorbing moisture throughout the day. Area 3. Inside your shoes. The odor factories. I dare you, go grab your favorite shoes, the ones you wear almost daily, and take a good sniff inside. Go on, I'll wait. Did that knock you back a few steps? Don't worry, you're not alone. I nearly passed out when I tried this with my trusted loafers. Here's a fact that'll curl your toes. Each foot has about 250,000 sweat glands. That's more per square inch than anywhere else on your body. And the cosmic joke? After 60, these glands often kick into overdrive even as we slow down in other departments. My podiatrist explained it like this. As circulation changes with age, the body sometimes compensates by increasing sweat production in the extremities. My wake-up call happened at my grandson's baseball game. I took off my sneakers to get comfortable in the bleachers, and the mom sitting in front of us actually changed seats. My son later gently mentioned that my shoes were a bit ripe, Dad. Talk about mortification. I wanted to bury my head and feet in the sand. The solution isn't throwing away perfectly good footwear. It's establishing a simple routine. First rule, never wear the same pair 2 days running. Shoes need a full day to dry inside, even if they feel perfectly dry to the touch. Second, those insoles should come out regularly for washing. For everyday maintenance, here's my secret weapon: a spray bottle with equal parts white vinegar and water. A quick spritz inside after wearing neutralizes those odor-causing bacteria. For the budget-conscious, and who isn't these days, baking soda works miracles. Just sprinkle inside overnight and dump it out in the morning. My bowling buddy stopped moving away from me in the locker room. Area 4. Your furniture. The scent collectors. Ever gone on vacation and noticed a strange smell when you walked back into your house? It wasn't there when you left, was it? That's because our noses adjust to our environment. We literally become nose-blind to our own homes. And that favorite recliner where you've watched 1,000 ball games? It's been quietly soaking up your body's natural oils and skin cells every single day. My daughter gave me the reality check I needed. She came over with her kids and immediately started opening windows. When I asked why, she hesitated before saying, "Dad, your chair has a distinctive smell." I was mortified. I shower daily, wear clean clothes. What was happening? Upholstered furniture is basically a giant sponge, my house cleaner explained when I sheepishly asked her advice. The average armchair contains more dead skin cells than a mattress, simply because we shed more skin as we age and spend more time sitting than sleeping. The reality hit home when my daughter insisted on steam cleaning my trusty recliner before my grandkids stayed overnight. I was mildly insulted. until I saw the color of the water afterward. The chair hadn't looked dirty, but years of invisible skin cells, oils, and dust had created a smell reservoir that apparently announced "Old Grandpa" to everyone but me. Good news is, you don't need expensive cleaning services. For weekly maintenance, plain old baking soda is miracle stuff. I sprinkle it generously over my chair, let it sit during my morning walk, then vacuum it up when I return. For deeper cleaning, mix white vinegar and water in a spray bottle and lightly mist fabric surfaces. Area 5. Your closet, where clean clothes turn musty. I call my closet the fabric retirement home, because once something goes in there, it either stays forever or mysteriously disappears into the back corner, never to be seen again. Sound familiar? The problem is, those clean clothes hanging in your dark, rarely aired closet are silently absorbing and releasing odors that announce your arrival before you even say hello. My embarrassing moment came during lunch with my son last Father's Day. He gave me a hug and then gently suggested I might check my closet for moisture issues. I nearly choked on my sandwich. I'd showered that morning and was wearing freshly laundered clothes. What was he talking about? When I got home, I stuck my head deep into my closet and took a good whiff. Holy smokes! There was definitely a musty, slightly sour smell in there that I'd never noticed before. How long had this been following me around? Most people don't realize that fabric is constantly absorbing odors from its environment, my sister explained when I called her. She managed a department store for 30 years. Your shirts have been hanging in that closed, dark space collecting molecules, and then when your body heat warms them up during wear, they release those smells. The solutions are ridiculously simple. First, leave closet doors open when you can to improve air circulation. Second, get a cheap dehumidifier. The small, battery-operated kind costs under $20 and makes a huge difference. For the penny pinchers among us, I prefer financially prudent. Activated charcoal bags are wonderful odor absorbers. Hang a few throughout your closet and replace every few months. Even cheaper? Open boxes of baking soda on shelves work almost as well. Area 6. Between your toes. The most overlooked spot. I've saved the most overlooked spot for last, because I was absolutely floored when my podiatrist pointed this out. The spaces between your toes harbor more bacteria than almost anywhere else on your body. Yet, how many of us pay any attention to these tiny crevices? My buddy Harold, not his real name, he'd never forgive me, learned this the humiliating way. During a family cookout, his 4-year-old granddaughter was playing near his feet while he wore sandals. She suddenly looked up and announced to the entire gathering, "Grandpa's feet smell like the dog's cheese treats." The poor guy nearly died of embarrassment right there on his patio. The explanation is pretty straightforward. Each foot contains over 250,000 sweat glands, pumping out nearly half a pint of moisture daily. As we age, our circulation slows and nerve sensitivity decreases, meaning we often don't notice dampness between our toes. It's like creating a perfect tropical paradise for bacteria and fungi. Warm, dark, and moist. No wonder they throw a party there. Most older folks focus on washing the parts of their feet they can easily see, my podiatrist explained, trying to be tactful. But bacteria don't collect on the visible surfaces. They thrive in the hidden spaces between toes where air doesn't circulate. The solution is embarrassingly simple, but requires deliberate attention. During every shower, use a soft washcloth with mild soap to clean between each toe individually. Even more important than washing, though, is thorough drying afterward. Pat between each toe with a clean towel, or use a hairdryer on cool setting if bending is difficult. For extra protection, especially during sweaty summer months, try these tricks. Sprinkle cornstarch or antifungal powder between toes after bathing. Use cotton balls to separate toes while watching TV, Or invest in those funny-looking toe socks with separate compartments. I mocked them until I tried them. Game changers. Here's the beautiful truth. You don't have to smell like you're aging just because you are aging. Growing older is indeed a privilege denied to many. But smelling older is entirely optional. By giving special attention to these 6 often overlooked areas, behind your ears, under your breasts, inside your shoes, your furniture, your closet, and between your toes, you take control of how you present yourself to the world. These aren't complicated changes requiring expensive products or difficult routines. They're simple adjustments that respect the natural changes in your body while maintaining your dignity and confidence. If you've stayed with me to the end, you're clearly someone who values both wisdom and self-care, a winning combination at any age. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and comment below with "Too dignified to be musty," so I know who's joining me on this freshness journey. Remember, we're aging like fine wine, complex, valuable, and worth savoring, not forgotten leftovers. Here's to many more years of vibrant, confident living.